Good. So let's talk about your two properties. How much is coming in from those two properties?
About 500 per month.
500 per month. Okay. And what kind of properties are they, Michael?
They're flats, both are flats, single-let flats.
Single flats. Okay. In London?
In London, yes.
Okay, good. How long have you had those?
I've got one in 2002 and the other one in 2004.
2002, 2004?
2004.
We're going to have some fun here. More encouragement. Come on. Michael, how you doing? Come and have a seat, please. So we're going to have a slightly shorter coaching session, but you know the drill now, don't you?
Okay.
Okay, so Michael, thank you for being coerced to come on stage.
Okay.
So Michael, tell us, what do you do for a living?
I'm an accountant.
Accountant? Oh, good. Brilliant. Oh, I love accountants. Let me read your notes here, Michael. So Michael, where are you based?
I'm in London.
London? Okay, good. And do you have any properties yet?
Yes, currently I have 2 buy-to-let properties.
Great.
With my partner as well, she has 2 as well, so we have 4 in total.
Fantastic, good. That's 4 more than most accountants.
Indeed.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Do you like being an accountant?
Yes, it's something that I've done from when I was quite young, so
Yep.
it's quite interesting. It's numbers. Not everybody takes numbers in terms of interest.
But do you see it as a career? Is it something that...
It's something that I've been doing for quite a while,
Yeah.
and yes, it's a career.
And here's the question, Michael. If you won the lottery tomorrow, would you go... If you won the lottery today, would you go back to work tomorrow? You had more money than you ever needed.
Right, okay, that's a good question. I would
Let's see how much he really loves doing this job, shall we?
No, I wouldn't go back.
No! Oh. But unfortunately, as you haven't won the lottery,
Indeed.
what time are you going to be in work tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'll be at work at 8:30.
8:50, okay. And how many hours do you... I hope you don't do as many as Ed.
No, I
hours a
don't, but I do about 9 hours or so per day.
9 hours a day. Okay, so that's quite a long day still.
Indeed.
Yeah, okay. Do you get paid well for that?
I get paid a consider reasonable salary. Indeed.
Okay, good. Have you worked out your hourly rate?
My hourly rate...
You don't have to say, it's okay, but I'm saying, have you worked it out?
Yes, I have worked.
And you're satisfied with that?
No, not really.
Oh, okay, right, okay. You can make a lot more money in property, can't you, Michael?
Indeed.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about your current price. Let's just, you said your partner, are you married yet? Or
we're not married at the moment, but
okay.
yes.
How long have you been going out?
Probably about 5 years or so.
5 years, okay. Going to get married maybe, or
Yeah, absolutely.
don't need to?
Yeah,
or?
that's the plan.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah.
And so is it a case of what's yours is
Yes,
hers
absolutely,
and what's
absolutely,
hers is hers?
Yeah, we're actually due to get married next year, actually. So
Yeah?
indeed, yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. Good. So let's talk about your two properties. How
Okay.
much is coming in from those two properties?
About 500 per month.
500 per month. Okay. And what kind of properties are they, Michael?
They're flats, both are flats, single-let flats.
Single flats. Okay. In London?
In London, yes.
Okay, good. How long have you had those?
I've got one in 2002 and the other one in 2004.
2002, 2004?
2004.
We're going to have some fun here. So they give you £500 a month. Are you okay if we go through the figures on these?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I think there might be an opportunity here for you, Michael. Where do you want to get to?
I would say.
So if you could replace your income that you earn, and you might have put, I don't want to tell everyone else, but let's see if you put how much on here you earn. Okay. Without telling us how much you earn, but how much would, we can if you want, but how much would you need to be in a position where you could choose if you went to work or not? So maybe what you earn, or maybe slightly less, how much would you need to live on, you'd be okay to not to have to work?
£4,000 per month.
£4,000 a month. That's where you want to get to. So currently 500. And whenever we look at coaches, say, where are you now? And where do you want to get to? Then what's the gap? So the gap is 3,500. Not dissimilar.
Well, I have, so it's 500 per flat. So
perfect. I beg your
per
pardon. It's getting even better. Okay, good. Okay, 1,000 so far, so therefore 3,000. Okay, good. That's interesting. So, and what do you think is the best way for you to get there? To the 4,000 a month?
Well, I've thought HMOs as well, in terms of that's the option. That's,
so these are single lets at the moment?
Those are single lets at the moment.
Right, okay. And where do you want to get your HMOs?
In London.
In London?
Which I've been finding quite difficult. obviously because of
Yeah.
the cost of the London
It's
properties.
harder to buy existing ones because landlords on risk, but a lot of our masterminders who are in the southeast, London, etc., buying a good sized 3-bed that you can convert into a 5 or 6 bed, where you've got to put the money in initially, but you refinance it, that then does stack up and give a fairly good return. So I think that's easier than just buying an existing HMO, which may not give you such a good return. Would you agree?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. So how quick would you like to get here?
I would say within the next year or two, I would say.
Okay, so you want to do it in a year. Okay, cool. That's good. What's stopping you?
What's stopping me at the moment? I would say in terms of finding the deals, because I have been looking in terms of speaking to landlords, and because at the moment I'm speaking to a HMO landlord, but in terms of the cost of the properties, I'm finding that's very difficult in terms of getting.
I'd mention, why is it important that it's in London?
Because I've always lived in London. I find it, Londoners tend to be like that, I think, but I've always lived in London.
There is a world outside of London.
Absolutely. So, so yes, I tend to always kind of look in London because I've been in London quite a lot.
Yeah. If you could do it outside of, and so one thing I'm trying to get to here as well is do you manage these properties yourself?
I manage one by myself and one is done through an agent.
Okay. And what about these HMOs? Do you think you want to manage those yourself?
Preferably not, because I met a landlord, he has like 3 HMOs, he has about 15 tenants, and I'm thinking that's a lot of work. But if it's close to me, maybe I'd think about it, but possibly I think maybe.
So let's think about this. You're saying you don't really want to manage them.
Okay.
And you're saying London's quite expensive.
Indeed.
So that's leading me to the point saying, well, why buy in London? Because if you don't need to manage them, and if you find it too expensive here, there are lots of other places where you're going to get an HMO at a lot cheaper price, and the rent's going to be less, but not proportionally less, so actually it could still stack up very well.
Indeed. So I've thought about that in terms of making connections and speaking to people. And
if only there was some sort of event where you could connect with people all over different parts of the country. Can we do a favor? If anyone thinks where you live, where you're investing, where you're sourcing deals, you're finding deals, if you think HMOs work where you live, they stack up really well, please stand up. Please stand up. Nice and quick. Have you met all of these people?
I've met a couple of people.
Some, okay. Yeah, so thank you guys, you can sit down. But the point is, there are enough people who know how HMOs stack up, right?
Absolutely.
And they know they stack up in their areas. So some of these people might be prepared to source deals for you. Now, obviously, you need to get to know people. Obviously, you need to do your due diligence on them. You need to pick an area. You need to go and visit yourself. And I think you should never buy blind, personally. But once you have a trusted relationship, you can get people on the ground doing stuff for you.
Indeed.
Right? And so really, location probably isn't that important because you're not going to manage them. And if we can find somewhere more cost-effective than London, that's going to be good as well, right?
Okay, yeah.
What about capital? Have you got capital, do you think? Savings?
Absolutely, yes. So we have funds. We were saying we had in the region of about 200K or so.
Okay, you got 200K,
yeah.
right? Anyone up north? Could we get some good HMOs, 200K? Some places you could buy the whole town for 200K. You know, it's a difference in prices. There is a north-south divide. There is still one, okay? And is that kind of savings you've got?
Indeed, yes, because I've had the properties for a while. They've appreciated.
Yes.
So
Well, let's talk about that, shall we?
Indeed.
Let's talk about that because I think this might be quite exciting. So 2002, you said, was the first one, and 2004, was that right? My memory okay?
Yep, 2000.
Yep. Can you remember what you bought these properties for in 2002 and 2000, roughly?
90K in 2002.
90K, yeah. And what was this one?
2004, 150K.
150K. Okay. And what kind of flats are they? What's that one? Is it?
That's a masonette.
Masonette, yeah. How many beds?
2 bed.
2 bed. And this is?
1 bed flat.
1 bed flat. Okay.
Converted to a 2 bed, kind of. But
okay, right.
It's a big 1 bed.
Are they different locations in London?
Yes. One is both in East London.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. One is in Manor Park. One is in.
Okay. Great. Now, dare I ask how much these properties are worth today?
Right, okay. I would say that is worth around about 280K.
280K?
And the other one is worth, in the similar, about 270.
270K.
Yeah, around about.
Okay. So Are you happy about that?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah? Let me ask you a question. Do you wish you got a few more?
Absolutely. That's my biggest where I should have bought lots back then.
Yeah, same here, right? Same here.
That's how life is.
And those of you who are just starting out, don't make that mistake. Just get on with it. Don't faff around. Don't treat it like a hobby. Treat it like a business. Even if it's a part-time business, just get out and do it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I'm sure that there's some scope to remortgage these.
Indeed, yeah.
And take out equity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say we were buying a property up north that we might be able to get a good, in certain cities, a good HMO, maybe from retiring landlords. And retiring landlords are sometimes over-optimistic about the price, but they want a bit much, but we could maybe do an option with them and give them that price if they're flexible.
Indeed.
Often, the properties are a bit tired, which means that they need a little bit of money spending to bring them up to standard, but that also means the rents maybe aren't optimized. We can increase the rents a bit. So just at a very top level, we could find properties probably quite a few places around the country at 200,000,
okay.
right? For a 5 or 6 bed HMO,
Okay.
okay? And then if we put a 25% deposit in, that would be 50K, and we get our mortgage of 150, okay?
Okay.
And particularly if it's a 6 bed, typically those could give us £1,000 profit per month, even
Okay.
with someone managing it for us, okay? So therefore, if you just tweak your strategy slightly, given that you don't actually want to manage them, and connect with some of the people here, and obviously do your due diligence. The point is that with the couple of 100,000 you've got enough to get 3 or 4 of these.
Okay.
Probably.
Indeed.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense indeed. Yeah.
And actually, 3 or 4 of them would be more than enough to get your target.
I see. Absolutely. Yeah, it's something that I've thought about, but it's
And
that limit thinking about London in terms of what.
so let's just talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
You've got 2 properties, which is 2 more than most people, right? So this is a pretty good start, okay? But this is a long time ago. What's happened between then and now?
Between then and now, I started, then I thought about other things in life. I was qualifying as an accountant. I just didn't get involved in.
Life gets in the way, doesn't it?
Life got in the way, indeed, yeah. Absolutely.
Anyone else here got life getting in the way? Yeah.
Absolutely.
The thing is, and that happens, right? That happened to me. That's why I was just busy, my career and everything. But now we're aware of that. The tragedy would be if we allowed that to continue.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Indeed, yeah.
And now we've had our eyes opened this weekend. Yeah. And it's time for the year of no excuses, don't you think?
Absolutely. Coming here has made that big difference in terms of saying, well, I have been thinking about all the various things why I can't do it, but now I feel as if there's no reason why I can't just.
Very often people focus on the things that they can't do.
Indeed, absolutely.
Because that's easier, isn't it? Come up with very valid reasons why you can't possibly do it.
Indeed, yeah.
Oh, it's expensive down here in London. Can't find the right deals, you know.
Yeah, indeed.
But time to get those excuses out of the way.
Yeah. So yes, that's the plan is to connect with as many people as I can and
Great.
to move forward really.
Fantastic, good. And this is a model that would work very well with the funds you have available.
Indeed, yes.
And this year, so what's the first step? What's the next thing you need to do? Going away from this weekend, what do you need to do to make this happen?
In order to make that happen, I'm thinking that one, I need to follow up on my connections.
Yep.
So in terms of I've made the connections, I need to follow up on those connections. Then I need to put a plan in place.
Yep.
So that I know that I can actually achieve these numbers. Really.
Yeah.
So once I've made those connections, I know where I need to go from there.
And as an accountant, you're going to want to put it through a spreadsheet.
Yes, because I spend a lot of time. My partner, she really gets upset with me spending all my time on the spreadsheet saying, this doesn't stack up, that doesn't stack up. But it's just what I do.
Yeah, and that's okay. You've got to work to your strengths, right? And obviously you have lots of strengths in that field, and it is important to check the numbers.
Absolutely.
That's good. The problem is not to allow the numbers to stop you moving forward.
Indeed,
right?
absolutely.
And the same way we asked Ed, Michael, how are we going to get you to be held to account? How do we know you're going to get on and do this? And you don't work as many hours as Ed, so you've got a lot more time than him, right?
Okay. Similarly, I'll have
No
to...
pressure, no pressure, but maybe some sort of commitment in front of the room might be good.
Well, I need to join the Facebook group, I guess, as a starting point. And
that's a start?
That's a start.
Yeah.
And then in terms of, do a follow-up then, in terms of weekly follow-up again. I guess that's the...
Every week?
Every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Are you okay for people to start giving you a hard time? In a polite way, obviously, but a little bit of a nudge and a kick if you're not taking the action you're supposed to take.
Absolutely, I would very much like that.
Are we up for that? So, Michael?
Great. Thank you.
It's very easy to say we want to do this, but it's all about, I think, I get the feeling you've made a decision this weekend, and you're committing to yourself, which is great, and you could get there. You're in a great position, Michael. You've got funds to do it, you've got some experience, you know property works.
Indeed, yeah.
You know, you want to make sure you don't get into that comfortable position that we talked about before. Yeah. And who knows? And is your partner on board?
She's absolutely on board.
Is she here?
Yeah, she's here.
Let's hear a shout out for the partner. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, she's right.
Oh, there we go. So isn't it great to bring a partner to these events?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
and now there really is no getting away from this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Are we going to make sure we hold him to account? Yes. By the way, sometimes your partner's not the best person to hold you to account.
Okay.
And I believe you. Yes, I believe you probably are. Fantastic. So, Michael, anything else you want to ask me? Are you clear on this? Do you know what you're going to do forward next steps?
Absolutely. I think it's a case of, I'm quite fixed on the HMOs, but the sticking point was in terms of where do I go from there. So I think this gives me an indication that I can achieve my goals and what I need to do.
Doing it on your own would be very difficult.
Indeed, yeah.
But by tapping into an app, on Mastermind we find this, that someone might be down here and they tap into someone who they know and trust on Mastermind who can source deals and be on the ground and go and look at properties for you. And the great thing is if you tap into someone who's local and you find a deal, you say, hey, can you go and look at this? And if you don't want it, they're the best person to sell it to because it's in their neck of the woods and they might want to buy it.
Yeah,
so it's about tapping into that network, really.
Absolutely.
So, Michael, I'd like to thank you so much for coming up on stage and sharing and being so honest. And I'm sure what we've talked about here has given other people some insights. I'm sure they've picked something up from that as well. So thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Michael. Thank you.